going on, Jerome's beautiful Wednesday? Birds are chirping and stuff, and it's time for another Vikings news dump. So, of course, the story of the day yesterday afternoon is the NFL officially gave word on the suspension for wide receiver Jordan Addison. Pelissero, go. The NFL has suspended Vikings wide receiver Jordan Addison without pay for the first 3 games of the 2025 regular season for violating the NFL's substances of abuse policy. Also, they need to change wet and reckless to something that's a little bit more serious. You know what I mean? Because wet and reckless just sounds like the world's greatest water park. You know what I mean? Wisconsin Dells? God. Addison is permitted to participate in all training camp activities, including preseason games. And also, this isn't really noteworthy, but it does void the guarantees for the final 2 years of Addison's rookie deal. It doesn't affect the 5th-year option, but it's just noteworthy. Yeah, and Addison is going to miss the first 3 games of the season. Monday Night Football Week 1 at the Bears, and then 2 home games, Falcons Sunday Night Football, as well as the Bengals Week 3. He does return for the Steelers and Browns. Now, he can practice second half of the suspension, so he won't be coming in cold internationally against the Steelers. And it kind of stinks because Addison and McCarthy clearly have a little bit of a connection and chemistry going on. Wide receiver-wise, so, I mean, Rondale was supposed to pick it up here, or Ty Felton. Neither of them really grabbing the torch right now. But Jefferson ideally back. Hockenson ideally good to go for week 1 will be good. Lucky Jackson really has risen up. Got some reps with the ones at night practice on Monday. Naylor. So I know the drawback on Naylor. Sometimes it's the hands, but he's at a good weight. Still has the speed. And he did well filling in for Addison at the start of last season when Addison had the high ankle sprain. So maybe. Or maybe they look outside. Adam, Jerome, Ezekiel, Thielen time. We'll talk about that more later. Speaking of blasts from the past, Anthony Barr, who had 2 stints with the Vikings. Remember, he was back. It was good times. Jordan Schultz, 4-time Pro Bowl outside linebacker Anthony Barr is retiring after 10 NFL seasons. The former top 10 pick of the Vikings started 108 games during his outstanding career. So he was Zimmer's first draft pick in 2014, and Barr coming out of UCLA, of course, teammates with Eric Kendricks, who was drafted in the second round the subsequent year. Anthony Barr was a bad dude in college, man, and I was expecting, okay, well, you got Everson, you got B-Rob, and then now you're drafting this guy, so what are you going to do? And then turned him into one of the best off-ball strong safeties in the NFC, and he carved out a nice career, 4-time Pro Bowler, and I always thought that Barr was underrated, underappreciated by fans, but I feel like he was a great captain. I feel like he and Kendricks really held down the middle of that defense for a number of years. Also, I mean, if Barr had stayed at edge rusher, maybe the Vikings don't draft Danielle Hunter in the 3rd round, 2015. Don't know. Butterfly effect. But Barr, underrated player. Seems like a legit good dude, as well as love the stuff that has raised the Barr Foundation does. So wishing him the best. Also, wishing Kendricks the best, too. Kendricks out here like racing cars now. It's good times, man. Speaking of 2014 first-round picks, woo, I like that one. So Teddy, Jerome, Ezekiel, Balthazar, Bridgewater, he's back. All right, so he signed with the Bucs to back up Baker Mayfield because Kyle Trask is ass. Kyle Trask has always been ass, and Teddy. Yeah, a lot of people were against bringing in Teddy as a backup to J.J. McCarthy. Well, there's a lot of questions with Howell and ripping ass. Brosmer could rise up. And also, remember, Teddy was a backup for the Lions last couple of years. So I feel like that's fine. Yeah. But now he backs up Baker. And honestly, Baker's one of my favorites. So obviously hoping nothing happens to him. But, I mean, Teddy with Mike Evans and Godwins and Ibuka and Bucky Irving. I mean, come on, man. Yeah. But Teddy has some free time on his hands since he got, suspended from coaching at his alma mater, which, paying for your football team's meals and paying for transportation so that they get home safely at night because the school can't and won't. I don't know. I guess that takes money. A couple game checks. There you go. Yeah. Ruined for Teddy. So there you go. Also, story of the day, Jonathan Gernard checks in number 48, the NFL Top 100. Now, too low, obviously. But Jonathan Gernard is a bad dude, man. And I feel like he has a chance to really show up and show out this year. I've already called it Defensive Player of the Year. right? Third 13 put this out. Jonathan Gernard was one of the league's best pass rushers in 2024. Last season, Gernard finished top 5 in sacks, tied for 5th. Hurries first, pressures 3rd, forced fumbles tied for 4th, which is good. Yeah. And also, with this, I honestly think that this defense with Allen and Hargrave now that can get their own pass rush, I feel like it's going to help out Gernard, right? Because, the Vikings had to blitz the bejesus out of everyone last year, and Gernard, not much about that coverage life, but he's great against the run, but hellacious against the pass too. And I feel like there's going to be a spot where he's obviously going to be targeted, and maybe there's some bluffs and some feints, and maybe he drops into coverage, and all of a sudden you're rushing 4. You don't know which 4, as the Vikings are up on the last scrimmage, and that will just make his other reps that much easier. And plus make life so much easier on everyone else. So I feel like Gernard, super underrated, right? I love me some Jonathan Gernard. There you go. Also, this is criminal. I didn't see this, but Madden 26, Vikings, notable Vikings players. Jefferson 99, respect. Darrisaw 92, respect. Jonathan Allen 88, nice, respect. TJ Hawkinson 88, Harrison. Yeah, O'Neal should be higher. Aaron Jones, 85. Murph, 85. Addison, 84. Cashman outside, how about that? 83, too low. And then you get to Gernard and Van Ginkel. So you can make a very good case that Jonathan Gernard was a top 5 edge rusher. He's not 5, right, last year. And AVG had himself a career second-team All-Pro. Does that scream 83 to either of you on either player? No, it doesn't. So, sorry, just chalk that up to more disrespect to Jonathan Gernard, AVG. Come on, man. Speaking of Madden 26 ratings for 2024 first-round quarterbacks. Why does Madden always go 1 year ahead? Why isn't this Madden 25? Right? Oh, but the season ends in 26. No one calls it that. Or it's like when the Viking. All right, so this always bothered me. In the episode of How I Met Your Mother, when they do Viking stuff, it said, I'm still drinking away the memories of the 1999 NFC title game. No one called it that because it was the 98 season. Calendar-wise, sure, it was 99, but it was the 98 season. So, I don't know. But J.J. McCarthy brings up the rear with the gear. Well, I guess Spencer Rattler is worse. But McCarthy at 73, Penix 74, Caleb Williams at 75. You think that he'd be higher because he's the number 1 pick and he's got Ben Johnson. Drake May 78, Bo Nix 79. Respect. Actually, no respect. And then also Jaden Daniels 85. I would love to see this at the end of the season. I feel like McCarthy's going to be up there. Probably won't be too crazy. I'll say 81. Say 81. Daniels would be 85. Nix would be 74. May would be 78 still. Caleb would be 69. Nice. Penix Mightier will also be 68. I don't know. So it's whatever. Also came across this. Just made a joke that Sam Howell and Brett Rippin-Ass have been so ass that Josh McCown, who's 46, just like, I better start warming up. Texas. Yeah. But so I confirmed this. Well, confirmed this on Wikipedia, but also looked up some old media guides, and yes, this is legit. So Treadwell's, Josh McCown's middle name is Treadwell, which, if anything shows you that we're living in a simulation or time is a flat circle, it's that. Like, what are the chances that McCown's middle name is Treadwell? Now, I understand this is probably, like, his mother's maiden name is probably Treadwell or something, or it's a family name that they're, continue to use, but I don't know, Joshua Treadwell McCown. I mean, come on. I guess it'd be stranger if his middle name was Laquan, right? But what about, hey, hold on. Well, is offensive line coach Chris Cooper's middle name Willie Beavers or Clemmings? How about that? Is that it? Or is his middle name Udo? Olisimaka Udo? Christopher Olisimaka Udo Cooper. Is that what we're doing now? I don't know. Or, Keenan Adam Thielen McCardle. Come on. Again, I swear to God, we live in a simulation. I've been here before. Right. Also, I'm going to stop giving Choerd the time of day, right? Because I feel like at a certain point, it's just rage bait and we're falling for the trap. But also, we have to balance that to wanting to hold the national media accountable, except there's no accountability, right? Choerd, who also had on Rossini, and they just told lies for like a 10-minute segment, which is just ignoring everything. Vikes fan page. Colin Choerd predicts the Vikings to be last in the AFC North, continuing to have his doubts about J.J. McCarthy. Vikings J.J. McCarthy feels like fourth place team or third place team. So, Coward, not getting into it, but then not getting into it. So I'm just going to skip it. Like, you realize that his support last year for the Vikings was because Sam Darnold went to USC. He's only propping up the Bears because Caleb Williams went to USC. And he hates J.J. McCarthy because he wears a backwards hat. And that's all that Cowherd does. He's biased, and he doubles and triples down on stupid takes from years ago. I mean, obviously he was wrong about Baker, so I don't know. Skip. Next. Jumping George Kittle, who's like the seventh best Iowa tight end in the NFL. There you go. But Kittle, you talked about on Bustle with the Boys that the NFL has banned ammonia and as well as smelling salts on the sidelines. And you see a lot where, players out there just sniffing all that stuff because I guess the rationale is that they could use those to beat concussion protocols or not show concussion symptoms, which I don't know. It's kind of stupid. What about the actual uses for smelling salts? What about bringing a player back? That's not doable now. Like the doctors can't do that. I don't know. But if you're going to ban smelling salts, I feel like players on the sideline are just going to go, because you got to smell something. And you don't want to smell dude. Nah, right. Yeah. Lastly, quite a departure. But our guy, Tommy Kramer, has been doing this for a couple days now, showing some love for fellow Vikings legend Joey Browner. This is good. Joey Browner has always been there for his teammates, and now it's our turn to be there for him. He needs our help. Skol. We put together an online sale with signed jerseys, footballs, helmets, prints, all just $47 in honor of number 47. Every purchase helps support Joey directly. If you share this post, we will draw a name for a lucky winner of a signed jersey at our event. And the link is in the description of our video below. And, prayers up, good energy for Joey Browner. And really cool for Tommy Kramer taking care of one of their own, another Vikings legend to another Vikings legend. It's good times. But Joey Browner's a bad dude back in the day, man. I love that. So Browner was in the 83 NFL draft, and that was the famous Elway Marino Jim Kelly draft. And yeah, the Vikings passed on Dan Marino, except they got Joey Browner. So you're like, all right, Joey Browner's a dude, man. Absolutely fantastic. So check out the link, help raise some funds, and help take care of 4-7. It's gonna be good. Yeah. Anyways, that's it. Vikings news up for this beautiful, glorious Wednesday. You guys are the best. You know what to do. Skol. Production value.